Welcome to Texas Card House as we get ready for tonight's 1-3 action down in the Rio Grande Valley. Let's see the lineup real quick. In seat 1, we have RGV Striker. He's in for the minimum, which is 300. Seat 2, we have Newbie. He's in for 300. And then in seat 3, we have Jason. Jason, the big stack, buying in for 531. Right next to him in seat 4, we got Ringo, part-time dealer here at the Texas Card House. He's in for 320. T-Rich in for 300. Big, B-I-G, in for 320. Got the Villain. He's in for 400, the second biggest stack. Ray in for 300. And rounding out the field, we have CC Drew, who is in for 312. And he's going to start things off putting on the $15 button straddle. 1-5, that is the max you are allowed to do on the button. As pretty sure these cameras are gonna be adjusting, but we are going 4 ways to the flop here. CC Drew was the worst hand, and now he has the best hand. So top and bottom pair for CC Drew as the cameras are still getting situated. And RGV Striker is going to lead out with his top pair, $20 bet into the $60 pot. CC Drew going to be at least calling, maybe raising, just going to call. You can see RGV Striker's outs on the top. Needs a 9, needs a 6. Excuse me, needs a 6 or a 7. And instead, it's going to be a queen. RGV Striker checking CC Drew. Let's see if he sizes up here. And he's going to size it all. Announcing all in here. Doesn't want his opponent to hit a spade. But that is actually a queen on the turn. It's not a 4, so the card reader picking up something wrong, but it is a 4. So the outs on the top of the screen are not correct, as a 5 will not make him a straight. It is a queen. So he did pick up an extra out with the queen. Needs a 9. Needs a 6, a 7, or a queen. And RGV Striker finally makes the fold. And CC Drew will collect the first pot of the night. Once again, we are at the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley. You can see CC Drew winning the first hand. He's up $68. And 4 players did not play the first hand, so that is why the number is 0. That is the profit. But we do have another straddle. This time it's from under the gun. Ringo going to be straddling the minimum, which is $6. Under the gun, the minimum $6, or up to half your stack under the gun, UTG. On the button, it is capped at $15. And it looks like Ray going to be making the call. Oh, and Newbie picking up Ace King, taking it up to 26 out of the small blind. Ringo, who has an ace, will let it go. Ray has a suited ace. I don't think he's going to let it go. And Drew won the first hand, so he's going to try to win the second hand as well. But every player has the other player dominated. Newbie dominated the ace-9 of Ray, and Ray dominated the 9-7 of CC Drew as we go 3 ways to an $87 pot. Let's see 3.
All right. We have 3 players to the block.
And going to be a jack-high flop. Action is on Newbie. He does slow down. And CC Drew is going to be betting his position. Newbie not ready to let go of the ace-king just yet. Ray does make the fold as we go heads up to a turn of over $150. Board pairing with the 4s. Let's see if CC Drew puts out another bet, and he is. CC Drew announcing all in again. So first two hands of the stream, CC Drew going all in on the turn. And he's picking up both hands, so should have probably about $150 profit. How about $164 profit? Newbie down $64. So the 476, that's how much is in the player stack. The number in the green, the 164, that is the profit. So CC Drew was in for 312. 312 plus 164, 476, according to my public education math. As we will have no straddle this hand. And we have the villain making the fold. And CC Drew now picking up kings, making it 15. He's going to get a call from Newbie with the 7-5 offsuit. Ringo going to come along with his suited connectors as we have another multi-way pot here. And it is a full house for CC Drew. He's going to win the first three hands here. The only question is, how much is he going to win in this hand? Very rare you see a player with a check mark on the flop multi-ways, but that is the case here. CC Drew feels obligated to put out a continuation bet, and he will, hoping that one of his opponents has diamonds. Oh, actually, Ringo put out a small bet, excuse me. And I think CC Drew raised it. Ace coming on the turn. And it's going to go check, check. Ringo does not want to see a 5. He does not see a 5, but backdoor hearts do arrive. Let's see if Ringo decides to bluff or if he shuts it down. Ringo's going to put out a bluff here. And Ringo's getting raised. $60 bet. And let's see if CC Drew says all in once again. I don't think he's going to say all in this time. I think he's going to try to get some value from his full house, hoping his opponent has an ace. That is not the case. Yeah, sliding out looks like about 160. It's 170. And Ringo knows that he got caught. And let's see if CC Drew shows. Yeah, CC Drew's going to show. He's letting Ringo know he doesn't bluff. Of course, if you've ever watched the stream before, we know that's not the case. But I do actually like him showing here, considering he did win the previous two hands. Kind of letting the table know that he's on a heater. And you can see he's the only player in the green. He is up over $250 less than 10 minutes into the stream here. And let's see if anybody puts on a straddle. Under the gun does have option, does have the priority. And on the button also has the option, but it looks like none of the players are going to exercise their option. And it is going to be on the player whose initials are BIG. The B standing for Brandon. So Drew going to take a break. And we have Jason raising on the button here with the Chad Johnson. Ocho Cinco. Ray making the call. Newbie does the same. And once again, another multi-way pot. Gut shot straight draw for Jason. He was your pre-flop aggressor. And it looks like he's going to continue on with his aggression. Putting out the C-bet there. Looks like about half pot. Is it 25? It is 35. So pretty big bet there from Jason, but it gets the job done. Jason joining us tonight, all the way from El Paso, Texas. 2 players in the green. Both players do not reside down in the Rio Grande Valley. 1 player residing in the Coastal Bend area, and 1 player residing in the El Paso area. So got El Paso, got Corpus Christi, the CC standing for Corpus Christi. Got the villain, who also does not reside in the Rio Grande Valley. He's joining us tonight from Zapata. RGV striker with the suited ace, going to be raising it up to 20. And Jason going to be calling him with some hearts. Villain has some better hearts. So nothing but red. 2 players with hearts, 2 players with diamonds. And we have 2 black cards on the flop. RGV striker was your pre-flop raiser, did flop top pair. A very wet board. He's going to put out a small continuation bet here of 30. And everybody going to be making the fold. So put RGV striker on the board. Of course, the RGV standing for Rio Grande Valley, the area where we're located down here in South Texas. The actual city we're in is the city of Edinburg. But Edinburg, one of the many towns and cities that make up the Rio Grande Valley area. Ray with the 9s, just gonna limp. RGV striker, who just won the last hand with the suited ace, has the suited ace again and raises it 20 once again. Newbie with the quick call. And let's see what Ray does, if he just makes the call or puts in the back raise. No, he's just gonna make the call here, as we're gonna go, of course, multi-ways to a flop. A lot of overcards for Ray to avoid. Needs to avoid an ace, a king, a jack, 10, diamonds and spades. Hold on loosely. And he's going to avoid it all. But he's also going to check in flow. And RGV striker is going to put out the continuation bet. Quick call here. Oh, nice check raise here from Ray. Ray check raising all in. Got our 3rd all in 6 hands here. And this should get the job done, as RGV striker just has ace high and Newbie just has king high. And it will get the job done. So nice check on the flop by Ray. And he will get on the board. It's got the, I was going to say the California Angels hat on, but they're back to the Los Angeles Angels. Although technically their ballpark is located in Anaheim. Started off as the California Angels, then went to the Los Angeles Angels, and they were the Anaheim Angels, and for a short period they were the Anaheim Angels of California, I think. Two players with the 6-4. And looks like we're going to have another multi-way pot again. CC Drew with the clubs. Ringo with the better clubs. Ringo with the ace high. Newbie with the better ace high. So you can see that Big is actually favored right now, as he's the only player with the live cards. No, he is not sharing a jack or a 10 with anybody. Plus, he has the best position by being on the button, as we do see a queen high flop. So Newbie, your pre-flop raiser, gonna be hitting the flop, top pair. Ray, who just won the previous pot, has the flush draw, and he's gonna check. Newbie checking here, and Ringo, no, excuse me, it's Newbie going all in. That makes more sense. So Newbie going all in, and let's see if Ray makes the call. Yes, Ray's gonna make the call, and normally I would say Ray's ace would be live here, but we can see that Newbie does have an ace as well. So Ray with 7 immediate outs also has some backdoor possibilities. No backdoor possibilities. 5, 6. It's a tray. And there's the heart. So Newbie had his opponent dominated pre-flop and is going to get rivered, and we're going to have our first rebuy of the night. So Ray went into $383 pot, and that is going to take him up to the top of the leaderboard. So Ray just over $250, CC Drew just under $250, and Newbie down a buy-in. The blinds for this game are $1, $3, and the minimum buy-in is $300.
Thank you, Kobe.
Action's gonna be on Newbie, and Newbie raising it up here. Looks like 20. Made it 20 last time with the suited ace, and now he has another suited ace, and it's the best suited ace. And he's going to get some action from CC Drew, who's working 9 to 5 at the club. Huge flop for CC Drew. Top pair with a flush draw, and he's going to check it over to Newbie. And Newbie is thinking about putting a continuation bet out. Oh, it's a big continuation bet. Betting 60 into 40. And CC Drew announcing all in. And Newbie's very frustrated, as the button has not even gone around once. We've seen less than 10 hands. And Newbie starting to tilt early on here. CC Drew has been all in, or he has announced all in at least 3 times. Basically every other hand, CC Drew has announced all in. And you can see he is now up 330. Newbie down 380. All these positions should be switching throughout the night. And obviously at the end of the night, you want to be to the far left of the screen, not to the far right. We are live on the YouTube chat. We are live on the YouTube chat. Jason going to be folding. Ringo does the same. T-Rich looks like he's going to be raising to 15. T-Rich with the Ducks. Gets a quick call from Big. Villain doing the same. And guess what? We got another multi-way pot. This time it looks like a 6-way pot. Yeah, we're going 6 ways. Excuse me, 7 ways to a flop. And it's all diamonds. Big with the ace of diamonds. Ray with the top pair has the queen. Excuse me, Newbie flopped the flush. I didn't see Newbie's hand listed initially just because there were so many players in the hand. But nobody's going to take a stab at the pot here as we now go to a turn. And Newbie way out in front. The only player that can catch him is Big, who has the ace of diamonds. Newbie going to put out a $60 bet here. Big going to confirm if he does have the ace of diamonds, and he sees that he does. But does he want to call $60? It looks like he will. Everybody else should get out of the way. And we will go heads up to a river. Big looking for a diamond. There's 7 diamonds left in the deck. He is actually drawing really live, as the action tracker does keep track of the cards that have been folded. But he is not going to hit any of those. Newbie's actually going to wind up with a straight as well. Flop they flush. River's a straight. And Newbie announces all in. So Newbie all in for the second time tonight. This time, he's got the goods. So Newbie, who was down over $300 before this hand started, is now going to be down about 180 maybe. Oh, down 230.
Real quick.
CC Drew straddled the first hand. The button has now gone around exactly once. And something that I do like to mention, usually like around the first 10 hands, a lot of times you'll see these players play their hands a little bit tighter than they normally would, or a little bit looser than they normally would. Some of them use the first 10 hands to kind of try to build a table image. I think that's what CC Drew did. And then some of them just kind of take the wait and see approach. Jason with the 10s takes it up to 35. Big with the aces just going to be calling here. And that's going to bring along CC Drew, as it's an extra 25 for him to make the call. Newbie, who called the $10 straddle with 8 high, will be calling the raise. And we are going 4 ways to a $140 pot. So 9 of clubs is the burn card. As the dealer was getting ready to put down the flop, it popped up. And only 1 overcard to the 10s, but Jason does proceed with caution, and he will check it over. And Big going to be putting out a small bet here. This is probably going to bring CC Drew along. It does. And Jason not ready to let go of his 10s just yet. There has been 1 10 folded, so Jason is down to 1 out. CC Drew actually has better equity right now, even though he has bottom pair. So Big should be going all in here. And there is the all in. And let's see if CC Drew wants to gamble. CC Drew knows that his bottom pair is not good, but he also knows there's over $400 in the pot. Maybe if he was heads up, he would make the call, but he does have another player to consider.
146.
Jason, get into exact count. It's 146. Doesn't want to call, doesn't want to fold. But he knows that his opponent probably has that queen. His opponent actually doesn't have the queen. He has better than a queen. Jason might make a crying call here. Oh, looks like he's reaching for a call. He's going to be left with one out, the 10 of clubs. And he does slide the chips forward. And he's going to need to see a club on the river. The 10 of clubs, that is.
Good luck, gentlemen.
And Big does not like that river, but his opponent does not have the queen. His opponent has the 10s. Aces beat 10s. And Big winning the big pot. Once again, those are his initials. His first name is Brandon. His last name is Garcia. And he is a mortgage broker down here in the Rio Grande Valley. He told me he is the fittest lender in the valley. The fittest lender in the RGV. So Jason really just paying for information there. And he's going to be down over $200 after making that call. He might be adding on. Yes, he is adding on 200. So he's down 200, adding on 200, and we do have the return of the straddle. Ringo with the $6 under the gun. That's UTG. Don't forget, we are live on the YouTube chat.
All right. C3 has 200 behind it. All right, gentlemen, we do have a $6 Arlington Strat Star live strat.
T-Rich raising it up. T-Rich taking it up to 20 with the Applejacks. And if you know anything about poker in Texas, it is multi ways. And it's going to be a 7-high flop. The villain going to out-flop T-Rich and CC Drew. RGV Striker also catching a piece of it as he does have a pair and a straight draw. Action is on the villain. He is cutting out a bet. RGV Striker making the call. A lot of good turn cards here for RGV Striker. Diamond, 6. Both the 5s are dead. Oh, there's a diamond, and let's see if he's going to try to represent here. No, the villain's not going to let him represent as he rips it. RGV Striker makes the call with his flush draw. He does have 10 live outs available. So another all-in here, as this pot is over $500. RGV Striker is all in, and RGV Striker is going to need a diamond and gets the diamond. RGV Striker announcing diamond, and the villain shocked. He's all like, how do you have diamonds? But now it'll make sense. Had a pair on the flop, turned a flush draw, went with the flush draw. So RGV Striker playing the hero this hand. Beating the villain.
I didn't say your combination, I was like all around it. It would have been like, oh, you
4 players in the green, everybody else in the red. All 4 players winning at least $220. As a matter of fact, they're all pretty much even between $220 and $240. 4 players up at least 220, and 3 players down at least 200. Looks like CC Drew's taking a break. It looks like Ringo just ordered a round.
5 calls, 6 calls, 7 calls.
Everybody just limping.
WSOB coverage on one of these two. I have poker though. I don't think they have the app.
Big with the pocket 8s, just limping. UTG 1, that's under the gun +1. Jason with the ace king. Doesn't think anybody is that strong. And he's going to raise out of the small blind here. He does size it up. I do like this raise since he's going to be out of position. You want to size it up, and he does size it up, but Big does make the call with the best hand right now. The best thing the villain can have is pocket 5s. Pocket 5s. But the villain does have a mystery card.
All right, we have 3 players to the flop. 3 players.
I think maybe he's like connected it. He's got like 4, 5, or 5, 6 of clubs. Either way, Jason is gonna flop the best hand. Action is gonna be on Jason. $114 in the pot. Probably thinking about putting out at least 50 here. And he bets exactly 50. And that'll get the job done. Looks like we got Fletcher in the chat. Sometimes Fletcher does play on the stream, but not tonight. So shout out to Lewis Fletcher. I think the players just requested for the World Series of Poker stream to be on one of the TVs, as they are officially in the money at the World Series of Poker. Yeah, you can see RGV Striker logging into his PokerGo account. And if we look real careful, we can see his password.
7 brings us it to 15. Levi, can you get a pass real quick?
I thought I was losing weight. No, you are.
Villain going to be raising it up in early position here to 15.
We've done it before. Yeah, it's fun. But people watch it a lot and get a little distracted. 15 is the best. 3 calls. 4 calls.
Jason calling on the button. Ringo with his suited ace does the same. And we are going to go 3 ways to a flop. Ringo flopping top pair, the villain flopping middle pair. The villain was your pre-flop aggressor, and he's going to continue on with the aggression, betting about 40% of the pot. No, betting half the pot, 25 into 48. Just over half the pot. You can see the other kings have been folded. That's why they are shaded out, but he does have the 3 10s available. And now he has a jack available for a straight. Ringo's still checking his top pair. And Villain still betting his second pair, but he does size it down this time to 20.
I'll do it. Put it on TV. I'll do it in a little bit when I get out. 4 calls. Going to a river.
And Ringo still with top pair, still checking it. And the Villain finally checks it back. So Ringo will take it down.
I have jacks.
So Ringo with the win there. Nice hand. Ringo, a big fan of the movie Tombstone. I'll be your Huckleberry.
All right, 3 to play, everybody.
No straddle this hand as Ray will limp. CC Drew does the same. Ray with the 10s. Ray limped last time with 9s. And now he's limping again with 10s. And Ringo put it on the 3-bet here. Announces 50. Ray cutting out the 50. Don't think CC Drew can call. And let's see what Jason does here. He is closing off the action. But he does have a bad hand. So Jason going to try to get lucky here. As Ringo has the 2 overcards and has the button. So Jason does flop a straight draw needed a 7. And Ringo might represent the king. Has no diamonds in his hand. I think he's going to check. Oh, he just announced if he has the ace of diamonds, he's betting. He does not. So he does check. And let's see if Ray puts out a bet now with the 10s. There's only 1 overcard to his 10s, and it looks like he's going to put out a small bet. Looks like 50. It is. Jason needing a 7 for a straight. Getting a pretty good price, $50 to win 200. It looks like he's going to let it go. And Ringo will do the same. So Ray winning with pocket 9s and now winning with pocket 10s. And that's going to take his stack to over $600. And it's going to take him to the top of the leaderboard. I don't think anybody's going to put on a straddle here. You can see T-Rich there in seat 5, fan of the World Series of Poker. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see, if you can zoom in, but that shirt is from the World Series of Poker. And let me ask you in the chat, what year is that shirt from? Seat 5, T-Rich. He's wearing a World Series of Poker hat.
3 to play.
The hat is a lot more recent than the shirt. Newbie raising it to 15 with the 2 face cards. So the gray shirt, you can see T-Rich. Oh wow, Big had kings, had aces earlier, and now he has kings, and he's putting on the 3-bet here. Newbie getting a good price. He's going to call in position, and Newbie does not want to hit a queen or a jack unless if another one is with it. Seems like a safe flop. Big checking to see if he has the king of spades. He does. $76 in the pot. And here comes the continuation bet. I see no reason for Newbie to call here, and he agrees he will make the quick fold. Oh, you're a trickster. You see, that answer can't be right because the World Series of Poker didn't start until the 70s. But I mean, maybe one time when the action's on T-Rich and the camera zooms in on him, we might be able to see the year. I know what the year is, and I'll let you guys know here in a little bit, but we are taking guesses in the chat. Oh, we got a restraddle here. We have a $10 under the gun straddle. And then we have a double straddle. RGV Striker put it on the double straddle. So it's going to be 20 to go. Jason going to be making the call. Jason with the king 10 offsuit, he does make the call. The villain making the call as well with his suited king. And we're going 4 ways to a flop. Pretty good flop for the villain as he does flop a flush draw. He is going to check. Gut shot for Jason, but he does check as well. And we are going to a turn. Queen of Hearts. It is the 10, so Jason now with the best hand. And RGV Striker is going to put out a little bluff here. $25. Going to get a quick call from Jason. Quick call from the villain.
All right, we have 3 players to the river.
RGV Striker drawn dead. And Jason going to wind up with the best hand. Actually had the best hand all along with the king 10. And RGV Striker giving up. Jason taking his showdown value. So Jason, I think, is still going to be stuck after this hand, but he'll probably only be down about 123. Oh, okay. Down less than 100. Two players down over a buy-in. Ironically, one of the players doubled up against the other player. Oh, there's the zoom in. So you can see the 20 on the left there. But what's the year on the shirt on the right? Give the chat a couple more minutes to put the guess on there.
Shot, Drew? Dealer flops 21. Yeah, shot to wake up. Shot,
So dealer flops 21. And everybody checks. Somehow this is just the heads-up pot. Our first heads-up pot of the night was actually the Battle of the Blinds. Ray's going to hit a jack, and Ray will win. The smallest pot you're able to win, a $6 pot. he's going to give 2 of those dollars to the dealer. We do have Jeremiah in the box tonight. 2 dealers. I believe the second dealer is going to be the lovely Ashley. Ashley Leco. Of course, goes by Ash Cash.
Terry, did you make it out to Vegas this Terry? Not yet. You still have time. I'll drive you if you buy me in. I'll drive.
Right, 3 to play. 2 fold.
Folded around to Ringo. And Ringo going to be raising it up with his suited ace. Big going to be making the call. Big also with the suited ace. Ray with the real suited ace. So 3 players, all of them with the suited ace, but Ray with the biggest ace. And he's putting on a nice 3-bet here. RGV Striker might come along. It's a pretty hand. It's a very pretty hand, but it's a pretty big 3-bet here from Ray, and you're going to be out of position. RGV Striker with the disciplined fold. Wow. He's been reading books or watching videos or something. So Ray getting no action still will get a $49 profit. And RGV Striker calling himself a nit for folding. But that's one of the good things about playing on the stream is you're able to see if you make the proper fold. And RGV Striker is going to be patting himself on the back once he watches this stream later on. So we got somebody guessing the year 2000. It is not the year 2000. In the year 2000. In the year 2000. Shout out to La Bamba from the Conan O'Brien show. If you know, you know. The villain just calling the straddle with the 10s here. A little surprise, especially in late position, and he's going to get out flopped. And now he's going to lead with the 2 overcards. Quick call from CC Drew. Both these players do not reside in the Rio Grande Valley. Kind of meeting up in the middle. As Corpus Christi about 2 hours northeast of the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley. And Zapata about an hour and a half northwest of the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley. Zapata located between the Rio Grande Valley and the city of Laredo, right on the Rio Grande Valley. Oh, so Ringo has the $6 under the gun straddle on, and they're trying to convince T-Rich to put on the double straddle, but I don't think they're going to be able to convince him, at least just yet. So action will be on T-Rich. And he's going to make the quick fold. All right, so the answer to the question on how old that shirt is that T-Rich is wearing, it is from the 2006 World Series of Poker, 2006. So there it is. You can see it right on cue, 2006. It's kind of crazy how that happened. The cameras are automatically controlled by the AI. Oh, CC Drew making the call here in bad shape.
Partner, I got shit. Check folder. I need trash. Check folder.
Heads up to the river.
Yeah.
Who trash?
But probably
Does not want to see a queen.
never have this.
Partner.
No down bit.
That's definitely you.
9 checks. 1 bet 25. 9 folds.
And RGV Striker will put out the continuation bet and take it down.
I would show, but 9 full. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What's going on?
Amber alert. Everybody's gonna get it.
I'm gonna miss one.
Trumped up.
Life flood warning.
No, it's not.
Oh. Wants to go Texas.
Is it?
Blue alert. Yeah.
Alright. It's already played, gentlemen. Should we play? 5 folds, 6 folds, 4 folds in the stockings. 7 calls, 8 folds, 9 calls, 1 fold,
No straddle this hand,
fold, 3 calls.
as we're going to have a 5-way flop.
Hey, you know, we should do a poker out loud episode.
The king high, the best 10 right now. The 9-10, the best equity.
Everyone has headphones.
Oh, huge flop for Jason. Let's see if Jason,
You would hear the dumbest shit in this game.
let's see if Jason puts in the check raise here.
Oh, okay.
That guy fucking raped me 2 times ago. Every time.
Oh, the villain might get in trouble. The villain has hearts as well. Oh, the villain's going to bet here. And does Jason check raise? Jason does not.
Heads up to the turn.
Oh, that looked like a heart. It was not.
3 bets 20.
Jason's going to continue here. The villain thinks he wants to see a heart, but he is drawn dead. And it is another red card, but it is a diamond. Jason will take it down. The villain's going to see he got very lucky by not hitting his heart.
What's up, amiga?
So Jason will take it down. I don't think he's back to even yet, but he is probably within $50 of being in the positive. How about $48? Both him and T Rich less than $50 away from being in the green. And let's see if he puts on a straddle.
Add it to the collection of books that stay in my truck. I keep a collection of poker books in my truck. People that drive with me, they're like, oh wow, this is fucking really good.
Oh, wow.
Also lealty cross.
Yeah.
3 to play, gentlemen.
Lo abre, se queda en España.
There you go.
The spine body crack.
7 raises 10. 8 folds.
$10 raise coming from the villain with the suited Broadway cards. 40% of a royal. T-Rich with the ace queen. How big is the raise going to be? He announces 50, 5-0. Oh, villain with the snap call. Villain does have live cards against him. And you can see we're exactly 50-50 going to a flop. $111 in the pot. And it is 2 clubs for the villain. And he still has his 2 overcards available. But T-Rich looks like he's going to be slided out of another $50 bet. How much does Villain have left? Villain has 124 left. T-Rich might have to call an all-in. Oh, wow, the Villain just calls here. T-Rich in if he has any clubs, and he does not. The Villain hitting his king. T-Rich left with 1 out. And T-Rich is going to have to hit that out. So one ace has been folded. One ace is available. T-Rich going to need a diamond. Make sure you do hit that like button if you are watching on the YouTube. It really does help out. It's how I get paid. T-Rich not going to be able to hit the one outer. And the villain going to take down the pot. And it looks like we're getting ready for a dealer change.
Very empty to clip.
Dude, I forgot my watch list.
Oh, you have the band. Oh, you have your golfer's band.
Dude, I hope they focus on it and not.
All right, buddy, that's my time. Ash coming in. Thank you guys. Good luck.
Got the Cajun Asian in the chat.
I'll try to give us
Last time we had a stream, he was the dealer. And now he is a cheerleader for seat 4. Let's go, Ringo. So we are
You have it now?
almost an hour into tonight's stream. Dealers changing out here.
I ain't gonna pay that.
He checked it and it said sign in. Expired.
So normally we will get in
It said ready to
between 80 to 100 hands during the stream.
Can I have one?
And we are on pace for between 80 and 100. And in a weird way, the less hands we get in, the better the action. Because you have multi-way all-ins that have side pots that take longer to figure out. So it's actually better if we get closer to the 80 as opposed to closer than the 100 on the stream. That just means that there was a lot more all-ins, a lot more rivers that are seen. Because if we are closer to that 100 mark, there's a lot of raising and taking pre-flop, or just a lot of flops and no turns or no rivers. So RGV Striker raising it up to 28. And Ray, who did call the $6 straddle, is going to call the 28 days later.
Bergman announcing it? No, not Bergman.
So Ray, with the 2 overcards here, he is going to hit one of those overcards. RGV Striker.
Everybody aware they can back those caps.
Ray leads right out here. RGV Striker not ready to let go of its trays.
Every once in a while, one side. Every once in a while, one of them.
King coming on the turn. Another overcard for Ray's 8s. It looks like he's going to check this time. Oh, RGV Striker putting out the bluff. So RGV Striker
They probably belong.
winning a hand he shouldn't have won.
Donated some money and shit.
There's probably a field pass you can buy. Expensive at a field pass.
Once again, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you do hit the like button. That's how you get paid. So Ray getting bluffed off of the last pot, but he is the biggest winner thus far, about an hour into tonight's stream. And action is going to be on Ray. Very first time he played on the stream, he chose to go by Ray the Machine. But tonight, he's just going by Ray. CC Drew with the suited ace, raising it up. Getting some quick calls from Newbie and Yason. And here comes the 3-bet from Ringo.
4 raises to 7.
Looks like 70.
5 folds.
Oh, the villain. Looks like he wants to play as well. And this is probably going to bring along CC Drew. Does it bring along anybody else? Maybe Jason? Jason is closing off the action. And he is going to let it go.
Yeah, let me see if I have it. Can't remember if I paid for
So Ringo with the best hand right now, but the villain is going to flop a flush draw. He hit a flush earlier. He had a king high flush earlier. Ringo ripping it, getting a snap call from the villain. He cannot like that. And CC Drew with his straight draw also makes the call. So Ringo is actually out in front right now. But you can see he has the worst equity. The ace-jack is out in front right now, but he has to avoid a flush draw, a straight draw, a king, a queen, and a 5. Ringo with a lot of cards to avoid, and he does not avoid as the queen comes on the turn. He's going to have to hit the last ace in the deck, and he does not. So the villain, same. The villain with the same result last time had a king high flush draw, did not hit the flush, but hit the king. This time he has a king high flush draw, doesn't hit the flush, but hits the queen. And I think that's going to be it for Ringo. I know we do have a waiting list. Yeah, that's going to be it for Ringo. So the villain missing his flush draw both times, but hitting one of his overcards to scoop the pot. And that's going to take the villain into the green, and that's going to give us an open seat. So we did start streaming at 7:20. These players began playing at 7:05. We are on the 15-minute delay. And we do have a seat open. So CC Drew with raising it up with the natural 9. Ray Collin with the natural 9. And Big with the best hand has the ace. Best hand no more as both his opponents outflop him. CC Drew hitting top pair. And Ray hitting middle pair. Gut shot for Big. Once again, those are his initials.
Guys, maybe y'all weren't afraid of this guy, but the real one's coming in.
Who's the real?
The real Levi's.
Oh, the real one. Hey, when that's still on,
Oh, there's this. Fuck this, yeah.
I want that.
at the bottom.
You want to put him on?
So big turn. Huge turn for Ray. Thought he might check raise, but he just calls. Huge turn for Ray. Turns the straight draw, turns the flush draw, and he's going to go runner, runner, flush. Does Ray check the river? Yeah, it went check, check on the river. So Ray playing that hand really slow. Never was the aggressor, but he does win the $151 pot. And we are going to be getting a new player here as Ringo was one and done tonight. And looks like he's coming in for 500. Rack of red. RGV Striker not in his seat, so he will get folded. And Newbie will limp as Jason squeezing out the 4-3. And we got seat 4 just sat down. And he is firing. Not sure if his cards got scanned. I don't even know if he's in the system yet. Don't know if he's in the system, but he was dealt in. And whatever hand he has, he seemed to like it because he is playing it. I think they're entering him in the system right now. I think that's what the delay is. Yeah, they're going to have him rescan the cards because he was not in the system, but going to rescan the cards and let's see if he's in the system now. There you go. He's in the system. And the hand that Ringo just lost all his chips was Ace-Jack. The first hand that the new player looks down at is Ace-Jack. Let's see if the real Levis is able to have a better result as he's up against King-Queen and a Ace-Rag. Same setup as last hand, as we do have 2 hearts as well. And there's the queen on the turn. That is some craziness, folks. The exact same thing happened last hand. 2 hearts on the flop, followed by a queen on the turn. And the Ace-Jack got in trouble last time. And let's see if he gets in trouble this time as CC Drew puts on the check raise. And he's calling here. He is going to need an ace or a king. A king would be gross, but it is not a king. CC Drew getting short. Has about 100 in his stack, and he's going to go all in. The real Levi's not going to be able to call here with just ace high. Has to put his opponent on a missed flush draw, and that's hard to do when you have the ace of hearts in your hand. He's asking for a count, but with the ace of hearts in your hand, it's basically impossible to call here and ever be right. Oh, he's making the call. What just happened? Thought his opponent was bluffing. But as I said, he had the ace of hearts in his hand. So Ace-Jack going down to King-Queen in back-to-back hands. Both pots over $400. The only difference is the Ace-Jack was held by a different player in seat 4. Same seat both times. The Ace-Jack. Not good for Ringo, not good for the real Levis. As CC Drew will get a double up. And action's going to be on Newbie, who just limps under the gun. Jason takes it up to 20. The King-Queen making another return. He actually raises it up to 15. T-Rich calling with the suited ace. All right, no. Nobody has Ace-Jack this time. Looks like we're going 7 ways to a flop. 6 ways to a flop. And Newbie gonna flop a flush draw. What does Newbie do? Newbie's gonna check. And looks like Big, who did flop top pair, is gonna put out a $25 bet. So betting about 30% of the pot. much as Newbie having his stack. Newbie just with the smooth call. Oh, Jason not ready to let go of his king queen. Speculating. It's a face card, but it is a jack. And let's see how big the bet is going to be on the turn. $168. Big is going to check. Gives his opponents a free card. The free card does not cost him as his opponents miss. Any 10 makes a straight. Let's see if any player represents a 10. Jason's thinking about representing that 10. He's going to have to bet at least 100, probably 150. He's not going to bet the big bet instead. Big is putting out a bet here. I really don't understand this bet as you're only getting called by a hand that beats you. He did have some showdown value here, but he chose to turn his hand into a bluff. But he was bluffing with the best hand. So Big, who is really into CrossFit, and I will tell the chat, I know one joke about CrossFit, and somebody in the chat's probably going to know the answer. But how do you know if somebody does CrossFit? The villain limping with the suited connectors. Ray does the same with his suited 7. And Newbie will check his option with the ducks. And Newbie gonna hit a third duck. RGV Striker does hit top pair, so we might see a decent pot here as RGV Striker is actually gonna lead here. So RGV Striker bet 12 on the flop, and he's gonna continue to bet here. Looks like 20. Does Newbie raise now? As the board is getting a little more coordinated, and he is going to raise with this set. Flush draw on the board, straight draw on the board. RGV Striker going to call the raise, drawn dead. And the 8 on the river might get Newbie some extra chips from RGV Striker. And that's exactly what's going to happen is Newbie puts out a small $50 bet that RGV Striker snap calls. And Newbie moving on up. There you go. That's the answer. How do you know if somebody does CrossFit? Don't worry, they'll tell you about it. As I said earlier, he proclaims to be the fittest lender in the Rio Grande Valley. So if you need a mortgage, I do think the joke deserves a thumbs up. So make sure you do hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. As we are having another multi-way pot here. Oh, look at all these diamonds. The real Levi's raising it up to 50. as Big just saw the deuces make a set, but he is not going to call. The villain is going to call with his king queen. And Jason's going to call. Oh, everybody calling with diamonds. There's no way a diamond comes out on the flop. We have 8 diamonds. There's only 13 diamonds in the deck. And we have 8 of them accounted for right here. I don't think I've ever seen this before. All the players with diamonds. And, of course, as I said, there's no way a diamond comes. As it's going to be top 2 pair for the villain. Gut shot for Newbie. Bottom pair for the real Levis. And Jason with Squadouche. Oh, villain putting out a big bet here. Betting over a pot-sized bet. And his opponents quickly fold. And he will show his 2 diamonds. So the villain, who was down early on, as a matter of fact, he was down over $300. Now he's up about $150. So a nice little swing for him. Newbie still down a buy-in, as Newbie is on the button, but action is on T-Rich. Action's going to be on Brandon. That's what the B stands for. Wonder what the I is for. Isaiah, perhaps? The B is for Brandon. The G is for Garcia. Oh, Jason with the 10s. Second time he has them tonight. Last time he ran into aces and doubled up the player with the ace-jack. Ray making the call here. And we are going 3 ways to a $99 flop. And it's going to be all spades. Ray does have the king of spades. Jason with the overpair is going to start applying some pressure to his opponents here. Big not going to be able to call, but Ray will. And looks like Ray will do just that. Look at all the outs Ray has. 9 live outs. The queen of spades, 7 of spades, and 5 of spades, as well as jack hearts. Those have been folded by other players. Oh, ugly king on the turn. And Jason was worried about a spade. So he thinks his hand is still good, and he's going to put out another bet. And Jason is actually drawing dead now, as all the 10s have been folded. So in a strange way, Jason actually wants to see a spade here to save himself from betting again. Jason might bet again here. Yeah, he does bet again, and he's not going to get those chips back. As Ray making sure he has the king. Sliding out the call. And Jason's not going to be happy. So over a $500 pot going to Ray. Tough beat there for Jason. Mentioned it earlier, Jason joining us tonight all the way from El Paso. So if you're not familiar with the geography of Texas. Obviously, Texas is huge to begin with. Second largest state in the U.S. But El Paso is so far west, they're actually in their own time zone. El Paso in the mountain time zone. Ironically, though, the El Paso area and Rio Grande Valley area, they are both right on the Rio Grande River. So the Rio Grande River is the natural boundary that separates the United States and Mexico. The only difference is as soon as the Rio Grande River enters Texas, it enters it in the El Paso area, and it winds all the way down and comes out in the Rio Grande Valley area. So it's actually about an 11-hour drive. I don't know if that's taken into account the time change, but it's an 11-hour drive between the Rio Grande Valley and El Paso, even though they're both located on the Rio Grande River. Top pair for RGV Striker, and he's going to bet his top pair and take it down. Oh, top and bottom. Oh. Yeah, maybe I made the right guess there. So the B standing for Brian, the I standing for Isaiah, the G standing for Garcia. His initials BIG. And he's very big into CrossFit. So big with the small raise to $10 as T-Rich is going to get priced in here. T-Rich with less than $100 in his stack. And let's see if it goes check around. It does. Big with the best hand right now with the ace, and he picks up a flush draw to go with it. And now he's going to put out a bet. Bet in exactly half pot, 15 into 30, and that's going to take it down. RGV Striker walking back in, as you are not allowed to use your cell phones in the stream room. We are on a 15-minute delay, but any electronics, you're not allowed to be on your phone. Just helps prevent any shenanigans. So no straddle this hand. It's going to be $3 for Ray to call, and he's going to make the call. Andrew is going to make the raise up to 15. Andrew's range is pretty wide here, as he does have the queen 10 offsuit. Newbie calling with the sailboats. And Ray will make the call as well. So a lot of overcards for Newbie to dodge here. King, queen, 10-8. And he's going to not be able to dodge any of them, as CC Drew, pretty big flop for him. Top pair with a straight draw, and he's going to get tricky here. Checking, and his trickiness might cost him here as Ray now hits a straight. CC Drew does have two pair. Ray's putting on a big bet here. $50 in the pot, and looks like he's betting over $50. CC Drew with 2 pair, not ready to let it go yet. Also has the 10 of spades. He might think about representing a flush if a spade arrives. Newbie going to be done with his hand as we go heads up to a river. CC Drew with 6 live outs, and that's not one of them. So CC Drew pretty much done with this hand, and you can see he makes the quick fold. And the rich get richer. As Ray started the hand with the biggest profit among these players, and he will finish the hand. He is up over $700, almost $800. He has over $1,000 in his stack.
Leave us 30?
Huh?
30?
$15
How about 12 and 24?
Okay.
I want to save the $6 for one bird.
12.
CC Drew just winning, just losing the last hand. Going to be putting on the straddle. I believe it is a $12 under the gun straddle.
I started eating that lately because now I spend like 45 minutes on the treadmill and I'm like, fuck, it's only 500 calories I burn. And then I look at what I ordered from Walmart and I'm like, fuck, there goes the fucking workout.
24 left.
Eat clean for 30 days without going to the gym. And I tell you what, you lose more weight than going to the
Just
gym.
live like that.
No, but I don't get to post that on fucking social media. That's not Nobody's gonna believe that. No one's gonna like broccoli. They're gonna be like, alright, he took the shot. Broccoli for fucking 20 days.
Zempic?
Yeah. Okay.
So a double straddle here. $12 under the gun, RGV striker with the double straddle to 24. And 3 players calling the straddle as we go 4 ways to a flop. And the villain going to be flopping top pair here. And it looks like the villain going to be leading right out. Looks like 50. Dealer will confirm it. 50 is confirmed. And the villain will take down the $96 pot for a $72 profit. So 2 players down, at least the buy-in. The player who traveled the furthest to be with us tonight is down the most. About an 11-hour drive between here and El Paso. He did not drive, he did fly, but still. I've actually made the drive before. It's a nice midway point to stop between here and Las Vegas. And they also have card rooms there. The big one in the El Paso area, located on Gateway East. House of Kings. So shout out to the El Paso poker community. Maybe next time I'm there, maybe I get a free membership to one of the clubs. So somebody's card's not getting scanned. And that's the slight pause in the action as RGV Striker raised it to $20 with his gut shot. He bet $20 on the flop with his gut shot, looking for a 7. And Big making the call with the best hand. CC Drew does the same. Yeah, so it was a $25 bet. I believe initially it was punching at $20, so they were cleaning that up. And RGV Striker still needing a 7. His opponent's now picking up a straight draw, needing a 4. And there's the 4. Straight on the board. Let's see if anybody represents the 7. CC Drew's thinking about it, but he's going to think better of it, and we are going to chop it up.
I'm the only one that was around that board. I was only the one.
Nice bet. Such a buster. I am a buster.
And you were the bet, I was gonna bet.
How about the bet?
So they will chop it up 3 ways.
Wow.
CC Drew getting the extra dollar as he is in the worst position.
Tell me to raise that hand from the stream.
We all played that.
No one. Yeah.
Let us know in the chat where you're. Oh, check it out. It's the VPIP. Here's the VPIP. T-Rich, the only one less than 30% and at 14%. Made a move earlier with ace-queen, got short, and pretty much hasn't been able to play a hand since. Ray actually has the biggest VPIP, and he's the biggest winner thus far. So Ray in at 60%. Voluntarily put money in the pot.
8, 9. We're now fucking 7, 8, 9, and now 4 was mine. I was gonna bet the pot on the turn, but.
T-Rich with the 8s. Making a small raise here. Very awkward stack sizing for T-Rich as he started the hand with about $70. Actually started the hand with 64. And he's going with his hand here. He's actually going to be in decent shape as a lot of his opponents are sharing each other's cards. CC Drew putting on the 3-bet, might get his opponents to fold. I don't think they're both going to fold. I think one of them's going to call, but let's see. Oh, wow, they both fold. So T-Rich in really good shape here, as we did see a queen already folded, and I believe a king also got folded. So pretty much 50-50 here. The graphics are actually showing CC Drew's out in front, which means an 8 has been folded. Club? Oh, there's the club.
Club.
And T-Rich going to be able to more than double up.
Cannot have my cab.
So T-Rich down to $64. Picked up an extra $40 from the 2 players that called us $20 raise. So more than a double up for T-Rich, as he's going to go from $64 to $171. CC Drew just losing that last hand, but he is putting on the $15 button straddle. Let us know in the chat where you are watching from tonight, as we do have a good variety of players at the table. 3 of the 9 players, so basically a third of the table, does not reside in the Rio Grande Valley. So that's an interesting little twist. Ray just calling here with his suited King Jack. Has both his opponents dominated, but the real Livas is going to spike a queen to now take the lead. And now Livas is going to bet his queen. CC Drew hit a 7, but he's not going to continue. And the real Livas, whose younger brother is sitting in seat 1. That is RGV Striker. So the real Livas, the bigger brother to RGV Striker. He is bigger than him. He is older than him. He is stronger than him. And in my interactions with him, I can say he's smarter than him as well. Real Livas making the fold. It's very smart to fold the queen 3. Smart fold by the real Livas. T-Rich raising it up with the suited connectors here. So more than doubled up here, and now getting after it with the suited connectors. One player has the same hand as T-Rich, and another player has a better 10 than T-Rich. So T-Rich going to have to hit some spades here as it comes 6 high. RGV Striker hit in middle pair and a straight draw. Should be betting this once it's checked to him. And RGV Striker is reaching for chips, cutting it out. And it is going to be a $35 bet, just over half. Oh, CC Drew not ready to fold here. CC Drew just calling with king high. And let's see what RGV Striker does now that he picked up a call. He's going to put out another bet. And now CC Drew should be done with this hand, and is. RGV Striker showing the 5. Would you like to say anything to the chat, Frida? Frida, one of the waitresses here at Texas Card House, popping into the broadcasting booth. Just wanted to say hi. As T-Rich going to be limping with the suited ace. And the next 2 players also with aces, also limping. Ray waking up with the ladies. Takes it up to 23. LeBron James. Oh, and everybody's calling here. Yes, I know the proper answer is Michael Jordan, by the way. Just was waiting for the chat to say something. So the queen's way out in front right now. The queen's no longer in front. The real Livas hit in top pair and a straight draw. Oh, and Ray just has one overcard to worry about. Has a straight draw of his own with the queens. Going to slide out a pretty big bet here, betting over a pot-sized bet. And I think the real Livas is just going to go all in here. Did the real Livas just fold? Wow. Take back everything good I said about the real Livas. I was building him up earlier. I said he was the older brother to RGV Striker, that he was bigger than him, smarter than him. This is how he repays me. Oh, Big putting on a straddle. I believe this is his first straddle of the night. So he is up over a buy-in. He's up over $300. So putting those chips to work, putting on the straddle, as the villain's going to have some suited cards that he will put into muck. Ray does the same. CC Drew makes the call. RGV Striker raises it up to 25, getting a quick call from Newbie. Newbie with the pocket sixes. The real Livas, let's see if he redeems himself in this hand. Calling with the Jack 10. And Big, who did straddle the hand, will fold. And we are going 4 ways to a flop of $109. The best hand right now, the pocket pair of Newbie. But he does have 6 overcards to avoid. And he's not going to avoid them, as the real Livas flops open-ended and bets $10. $10 into a $109 pot. So less than a 10% bet. It's going to get a call from CC Drew with just king high. And RGB Striker, who flopped bottom 2 pair, is going to be raising his bigger brother. So the 2 brothers going after it. CC Drew, I don't think, wants any part of the family feud, and he will fold his hand. So 4 live outs for the real Livas. Needs a king, needs an 8. That is not it. I think RGV Striker's going to put his brother all in. No, it goes check, check. And the real Livas missing everything and knows Jack High is not good. RGV Striker will show. I think that's actually a good show by RGV Striker, just because it lets the table know that he's not soft playing his brother. He's showing the table, hey, look, I had 2 pairs.
Oh, because then at the family dinner, he's going to go piece of everything up. He's going to tell mom how I bet into
We do have a $10 button straddle coming from the real Livas, as he is now a little short.
Oh, that's good. Huh?
$35 raise coming from CC Drew, as there was a $10 button straddle, and Big called the $10. So CC Drew has the natural 9. He is raising it up. Jason, who is down about $400. Hey, there's Frida. She was just in the booth earlier.
Oh my god. Bring me one of my special shots. Baby bomb? Yeah, bring me, yeah, thanks.
So CC Drew hitting a pair. Surprisingly checks it over. And does he check again? I don't think so. $91 in the pot, and he's going to bet 60. And Jason's going to be done with this hand.
Oh. Oh, that's a good card. Yeah.
T-Rich on the button. I don't think he's going to straddle. And I don't think... Oh, I think they talk... Yeah, they convinced Ray to straddle. CC Drew convincing him so he can do the double straddle. So here we go. We got the re-straddle followed by the re-re. So $6 under the gun. That is the straddle. The re-straddle up to 12, and the re-re up to 24. So RGV Striker putting on the 3rd straddle. So the dealer letting the production crew know So all of the graphics show up properly. As action's going to be on Newbie here. $24 to limp. Newbie has an ace-9. Don't think he should be calling the 24, but Newbie does a lot of things that I don't think he should be doing. Rio Livas with the king-9. He is going for it. I would like to see RGV Striker calling blind. Let's see if it's folded around to RGV Striker. It's folded around to RGV Striker. RGV Striker makes the call with the San Francisco busboy. That is a queen with a tray. And it is the battle of the brothers. RGV Striker going to need to hit a queen or a 3. Diamonds works as well. And there's the queen. Trips for RGV Striker. And the little brother going to beat up the big brother here. As RGV Striker is going to beat his big brother here. And the Rio Livas immediately reaching for a rebuy. Needs to be at least 300. Just put it all in play, bro. Just put it all in play. No.
And then people are going to be like, oh, they're soft playing each other.
So CC Drew, who double straddled the previous hand, going to be straddling this hand. And let's see if RGV Striker puts on the double straddle.
He's the oldest, I'm the youngest. Huh? I thought you were older. I thought, dude, someone actually said, who's older? And I went off on that guy.
It's a legitimate question.
So RGV Striker does not double straddle. He does make the fold. The Rio Livas does the same. Folded around to the button. And it is going to be Ray making the call. CC Drew checks. And heads up to the flop we go. Looks like Jason going to be adding on to his stack. Ray out flopping CC Drew, hitting a 5. It does go check, check. Ray checking once again with his trips. And Ray checks for a 3rd time.
Oh, shit. Nice hit.
Oh, damn.
Ray going to wind up with a full house, but he never bet it. So Ray has been very selective with his aggression. But anytime he has shown the aggression, it has worked out in his favor.
And what, are you going to have a drink or no? No?
I'm going to get fucked up with Big Red tonight.
What's up?
You can see Ray over 1,000 in a stack, $785 profit. The Rio Livas down $500. Sitting to the right of the Rio Livas is Jason. He's down $400. Sitting to the right of Jason is Newbie. He's down $300. Here's one of those unconventional plays that Newbie tends to make. Newbie has actually played on this stream for over a year, and he still manages to live up to his nickname. CC Drew gonna raise and take here. Put on the 3-bet. Nobody called him. RGV striker not at his seat. He will get blinded out, and that is what they're doing there.
If I had one of those, I would go to Dubai. I would go to New York.
So action's going to be on Newbie as he is under the gun. Newbie with the 5-6 again. This time he just calls instead of raising. Both plays usually not advisable. Jason with the suited connectors. Limping is pimping. And everybody limping as well, as we are going 6 ways to a flop. Actually 7 ways, but RGV striker's not at his seat. So 6 bodies as it comes jack high. Nobody with a jack. Newbie with a 6. The villain betting his bottom pair. Newbie calling with his middle pair. And we are going heads up to a turn. Villain gonna need a hit. A deuce. As now Newbie turns a straight draw. Villain slowing down, check, check on the turn. And board pairs. Newbie gonna have the best hand here, but it looks like it's gonna go check, check. Newbie will show the 5-6 and will win the $41 pot. I mentioned it earlier. Let us know where you're watching from in the chat so we can give you a shout out. As we are getting ready for hand number 46 here, 46 en Español. And looks like Jason is going to be putting on a straddle? No.
Yeah, thank you. It's very close to what the deal is. I don't know what shit.
So Jason with the ace-5. Kind of hard to play under the gun. The villain going to be making the call. The villain with a nice hand for blackjack. The 7-4, the double down hand. And Newbie also has the double down hand, the 9 deuce. They both make 11. Dealer has 21. Newbie with 2 pair now, the check mark by his name. It looks like Newbie's going to get the better of the villain once again, as these 2 players just tangled in the previous pot. And Newbie going to win the monster $7 pot. Let's see if RGV Striker puts a button straddle on. The minimum button straddle is $6. The maximum is 15 on the stream. 15 on the stream and 10 on the main floor.
It looked like 4 of them went over. It looked like the last guy got the worst because he felt tight. The other ones were like reversed.
So no straddle this hand. The Rio Livas under the gun. Let's see what he has. He has a hand he's going to fold. Villain going to be limping. RGV Striker. Action is on him, and he's going to be raising up to 722. Villain asking for a count. Villain makes the call with the AC deucey. Huge flop for the villain. Let's see if he check raises here. Flops a straight draw and a flush draw, but he's going to lead right out. Kind of a small bet here, only $15. That might pique the interest of RGV Striker, and it is going to pique the interest. It piques it so much he's going to raise. So RGV Striker sensing some weakness here, but it is quite the opposite, as the villain has a monster draw here. RGV Striker now the favorite. And it might go check here. No, RGV Striker still betting. And obviously the villain making the call. And there's the river. It looks like a spade. Is it a spade? The reader hasn't picked it up yet. Yes, it is a spade. The villain makes his flush. And RGV Striker finally slows down. The villain going to pick up the pot of $268. So some of the promos this month here at the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley pretty much have a promo every day of the week. On Mondays, you can get a $10 discount on your monthly membership. Normally, the monthly membership will be $30. If you pay for your membership on a Monday, you get it for $20. Tuesday, yesterday, and every Tuesday in the month of July is 2 for 1. So you can do 2 for 1 time. Maximum $100 can be bought on the 2 for 1 time. Action is on T-Rich. He will let it go. Big does the same. The villain who just won the previous pot looks down at the King Crab. And he will make the call. CC Drew going to be raising here with the 10-8 offsuit. Takes it up to 30. And that's going to pick up some quick calls from RGV Striker and Newbie. Pretty hand for RGV Striker here, the suited King Jack, but we can see that Newbie has him out pipped in the spades. But it's going to be top pair for RGV Striker, as this pot's almost $100. CC Drew, who was your initial raiser, will continue here. And is RGV Striker just going to call? And he is. Does Newbie call with his gut shot? Newbie does not. Heads up to a turn we go of over $200 in the pot. CC Drew action is on him. Let's see if he slows down. He does. RGV Striker will now bet. No, RGV Striker checks as well. CC Drew gonna have to bluff here, but I think RGV Striker is gonna call him. RGV Striker should snap call this. Nice check back on the turn from RGV Striker. That's gonna earn him an extra $100 here from CC Drew. Wow, RGV Striker raising here. Quick fold from CC Drew. And I know it might seem a little bit nitty just to call there with the king. But if you raise and get called, chances are you're beat. But nice check back from RGV Striker on the turn. Got him an extra $100 from CC Drew, as we do have a dealer change. We do have a dealer change. So while the dealer change is taking place, let us remind you about the return of the Trailblazer Series. So it's coming up here in a couple of months. As we see now, CC Drew in the lead on the VPIP department. Everybody at least 30%. T-Rich close to 20%. Normally, if you're playing on a stream, you want to be at least 20%.
All right, guys, once again, I want to say thank you guys and good luck to everybody. Smoke the balls.
But we do have the dealers changing out. So exactly 2 hours into tonight's stream, we are halfway home.
Curtis?
Three to play.
What am I? Oh,
6 folds, 7 calls, 8 folds, 9
Drew
calls,
just limping here with the Jack 8.
2 folds.
And RGV Striker going to race it to 20 with the suited Queen 3. He was able to belt his brother earlier with the Queen 3.
7 calls, $20.
CC Drew. Oh!
Now he raises it.
CC Drew, interesting move here. He felt like RGV Striker was messing around. He doesn't think any of the other players are strong because they would have re-raised RGV Striker. So nice play here from CC Drew. Really just playing the player, not playing his cards. Thinks RGV Striker is weak. He is correct. Doesn't think any of the other players in the hand are strong. And he is going to show. I like it. I like it. Got a little action here in the chat. We have the MMA and Car Addict. What's up, Texas Card House fam? And I mentioned this earlier, but he's reminding you, make sure you do hit that like button.
All right, ready? 3 to play. 3 to play. 7 folds, 8 folds, 9 calls, 1 fold, 2 folds. Bring back to 15.
Oh, CC Drew, who just made a move. It was the exact same setup. He limped and then back raised, but this time he has it. And T-Rich is going to be in trouble. Normally, this move would work for T-Rich, but we could see that CC Drew,
9 calls.
and he's continuing on with his slow play, just calling here, trying to bring some opponents in. Jason with the 5s, not going to make the call. And T-Rich is going to have to hit an ace. I think all the aces are available for him.
9 calls. Sorry. 9 is not.
So T-Rich going to be really surprised when he sees CC Drew's hand.
Good luck, gentlemen.
T-Rich is actually feeling pretty good right now. And he's feeling even better hitting the ace. And he has clubs covered. So T-Rich ripping it with the ace 10. CC Drew does show the queens out of frustration. So the second time tonight, T-Rich has doubled up, and both times has been off of CC Drew. So T-Rich going to be still down, but only like $20. Down $19 to be exact. And everybody else is down at least the buy-in. Somewhere between $300 and $600. 2 players down over $500. Real money.
$3 to play, $3. 8 calls, 9 raises.
CC Drew continuing on here. Wow. This time he has the aces, and this looks like a frustration raise. So CC Drew set it up perfect last hand with the queens. It didn't work out for him. And now set it up perfect again with the aces. This looks like a tilt raise. But we can see he has the goods.
We got 4 players to the flop.
4 ways we go to a flop. And he's going to get out flopped. He has the ace of diamonds too. Ray has over 1,000 in his stack. CC Drew has 500 in his stack. And we might see it go all in here as the villain's actually leading out here with his top pair. Oh yeah, CC Drew's raising here. CC Drew's raising for sure. Has the ace with the ace of diamonds. And here comes the raise. And Ray's not getting away from a flush. The only question is, does Ray go all in here? Or does he just make the smooth call?
Don't be giving him a chance.
Villain pretty much knows that his king is no good. He's going to get out of the way, but what does Ray do? Ray announces all in, and CC Drew makes the call. He's going to need a diamond. 5 diamonds are available, and we got ourselves about a $1,700 pot here, folks. If this doesn't get you to hit the like button, I don't know what will.
Well, your brother goes and checks every fucking 15 minutes, 20 minutes on the chat.
So CC Drew
Bro, he can't wait to get here.
gonna need a diamond. He can also go runner, full house. So if he doesn't get a diamond, he at least wants to get an ace, a king, a queen, or a 9 to give him some additional outs.
Carter, now your parents, Carter, now your parents have something to watch for 4 hours. Alright, no more action, no TV show, just stream on.
So CC Drew looking for a diamond or the board to pair. All right, now he only needs a diamond. And CC Drew gonna lose to 3 deuce. Aces get cracked by 3 deuce. If the ace would have come on the turn, it would have made things a lot more interesting. CC Drew cannot believe his luck. Cannot believe his luck. And in his defense, in my opinion, he played both those hands pretty close to perfect. Limp with queens after showing a bluff the previous hand. Got the queens cracked by ace 10. And the very next hand, after getting his queens cracked, he gets his aces cracked. And that takes Ray stack up to over 1,600. So CC Drew rebuying for 2,000.
We got $15. You said start recognition.
Queens and aces back to back.
So basically into this game for 3,000. Has 2,000 in front of him. He is down $912.
Alright, 15 to play, guys. 15 struggle. 1 for 3 calls, 4 fours. 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds.
So Jason with the suited ace going to be raising it up. Ray, who has been on a heater. Oh, and now CC Drew showing the tilt here, raising it to 75. It's going to work. He did announce 2,000 behind. His chips are in transit. And just like that, his chips showing up. Gracias, Maria. You can see the VPIP. CC Drew with the biggest VPIP. He is also down the biggest amount. Ray with the second biggest VPIP is up the biggest amount. So they don't necessarily correlate.
I'll take Jack A over Ace King.
T-Rich with the little needle for CC Drew saying, you got the aces cracked, the queens cracked, but you won the previous hand with Jack 8 offsuit. Oh yeah, Drew really trying to get his chips back in a hurry. Applying max pressure here as RGV Striker raised it up with the suited king.
Me versus Jerry.
Yeah. 41.
Yeah.
The handicap right now. Yeah. It's 2 versus 1.
You're good, heads up, bro? All right, heads up, actually. Good luck, Johnny.
I do expect a continuation bet here from CC Drew.
Check.
Oh, he checks. RGV Striker checking his 8.
No, beat it down.
Burn is down, burn is down. Yeah, you can see the reader picked up something wrong, but they are correcting it. That's what the slight delay is. Burn is down. Oh, RGV Striker now picking up a flush draw to go along with his pair. Hoping that CC Drew bets. And RGV Striker bets 150 and gets snap called by CC Drew. CC Drew does have 6 outs available. Doesn't want to see an ace of spades. Does he bluff? No, he's waving the white flag.
8.
So over a $500 pot, not going towards CC Drew, going towards RGV Striker, who has over 1,200 in his stack. CC Drew down 1,200.
Gentlemen, black chips are in play. Black chips are in play.
And looks like Ray just coloring up there. And the dealer announcing black chips are in play. So the black chip's worth $100. And Ray has 5 of them in his stack. I got 5 on it, he says.
3 to play, gentlemen. 3 to play. 2 calls.
Oh, Newbie with aces just calling under the gun, hoping that CC Drew goes crazy. But instead it is T-Rich. Not necessarily going crazy, but T-Rich raising. Oh, Villain. Put it on the 3-bet here. CC Drew making the call. And how big is Newbie going to raise here? I think Newbie should just go all in. Oh, Newbie does go all in. T-Rich getting quickly out of the way. And now,
195.
yeah, 195. I think CC Drew's going to call here with his suited queen. And he does just that. So just over halfway into our stream, the pots are getting big.
All right, we have 1 on in, heads up in the side pot.
Jacks versus Queen 9 of diamonds on the side. Newbie all in for the $608 pot. And I think the Villain's just going to go all in here. Or at least put out a pretty big bet. Yeah, CC Drew. I'm going to have to let his hand go. And the Villain is going to be left with 1 jack to hit to crack the aces. And Villain officially drawn dead with the ace on the turn. And Newbie might be out of the hole after that hand. I think he was in. I think he's in for $600. That's a $608 pot. So Newbie, I believe, is winning $8 in this game. That'll buy you a Happy Meal. CC Drew put in, yeah, Newbie up $8. CC Drew put in the straddle on the button, trying to build big pots. And I must say, I like big pots and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
$15 button straddle, guys.
RGV Striker raising it up here with 7 high. Kind of a dangerous raise, knowing that CC Drew is pretty much going to be defending with a lot of different cards. Looks like the brothers thinking the same. They both have a suited 4, and they're both in this hand. CC Drew had Queen 9 last hand, has Queen 9 again, but this time he has the power of the button. 165. Let's see if Brandon makes the call here with the King Jack of Spades. Brandon Isaiah Garcia. His initial spell big. Oh! What is the real Livas doing here? The real Livas has 6 high. He's going all in, and he has no fold equity. His opponent raised to 165, so his opponent is not folding.
No, you can't.
Yeah. 226, 226
No,
minus
it would
45.
have to be 125 on top.
That's 6 fold, yes. So it's 165.
I can't raise?
It has to be 2 and 0. 3 has to be over.
So CC Drew asking if he can re-raise, but the real Livas does not reopen the action. So CC Drew up against the Livas brothers here, has the best hand, but has to avoid red cards on the flop.
We have 1 on in, heads up, or side pot.
Another 1,000. Oh, my whole set.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Oh, the real Livas flopping a straight. That guy's a genius. Going all in with 6 high. He's a genius, I say. Oh, hold on. CC Drew picking up clubs. He's not sure on whether or not to bet into the empty side pot. Makes it a little tricky with the empty side pot. He does check. And he does hit a diamond, but that is not going to beat the straight of the real Livas. So the real Livas going all in with 6 high, flops the nuts, and CC Drew cannot believe it.
Here, you would have screwed it over a little bit this way.
Yes, these players are playing for real money, as the Texas Card House is a social club. You do have to be a member. You do have to be a member. This is a members-only facility. There is no rake taken from the pot.
4, 6 diamonds, 3 deuce diamonds.
So anything that the player wins, anything that is in the pot is not, nothing is taken for the house.
4 folds.
That was a big flop.
Can't beat the deck.
if you ever play at a casino, they will rake the pot. If you ever play in an underground game, they will rake the pot where they take a cut for the house. That is not the case here at the Texas Card House. CC Drew with the ace jack, raising it up.
3 calls. There's 3 players to a flop.
3 players with an ace. CC Drew with the best hand. And CC Drew flops top pair, top kicker. And he's going to bet the pot. Both his opponents miss. So CC Drew will take down a small pot. CC Drew still down 1,500. T Rich with the small raise under the gun with the suited 5. CC Drew gonna walk it off. Had his queens cracked, had his aces cracked. So 5 ways we go to a flop, and T Rich gonna flop top 2 pair. Very, very wet board, the monotone board of all clubs. Ray with the king of clubs. The villain with an ace. Gonna bet. T-Rich gonna at least be calling, might be raising. Does have top 2 pair. Just makes the call. Ray gonna need a club, Villain gonna need a 6, and there's the 6 for Villain. T-Rich still checking, Villain betting again. T-Rich does not want to see an ace. I don't know if T-Rich is gonna be able to get away from it, depending on the price in here. Yeah, 25. He's going to call 25. 35, actually. And he's going to see he got turned. So give the win to the villain. CC Drew winning the first 3 hands of the night. That's the good news. Bad news is we are in hand number 58. So the last 55 hands have not been great for him. Jason down over $500. And he's over 10 hours away from home. He will limp with the AC Deucey. And we will go 4 ways to a flop. 9 high flop. T-Rich with the big blind special. Let's see if he puts out a bet here. $13 in the pot. And he's going to check. A lot of scary turn cards. T-Rich checking again. And everybody checks to the river. And T-Rich going to bet $6 on the river. The villain makes the call with the 5. T-Rich will win the $25 pot. Getting a little revenge on the villain from the previous hand. RGV Striker up $666. It's pretty evil.
Somebody could steal one from the house and bring it down. Oh, sorry.
RGV Striker's big brother, the real Levas, down $25. As action is on the villain under the gun. Joining us tonight from Zapata. Raises it up to 15 with the 2 face cards. RGV Striker with the 10s just flattened. And here comes RGV Striker's big brother. Calling the 8 high. 3 ways to a San Francisco $49 pot we go. The real Levas at just 10% right now with his 2 undercards. Nice flop for the villain as he flops a pair with a flush draw. Was your pre-flop aggressor. Will continue his aggression here. Might get a call from RGV Striker. It is a $15 bet. RGV Striker does have a heart in his hand. He will make the call. The real Levas actually hit a pair and had a heart too, but he does fold. And now the villain turns trips. So villain's hand keeps getting better. And he's going to keep betting here. Another small bet. Looks like $15. RGV Striker might be thinking about doing something here. No, he just makes the call. RGV Striker going to need a diamond. It is a diamond, but it is not the 10. It was the 10 of diamonds that he needed. Let's see if the villain goes for some thin value here. Over $100 in the pot. He's going to check it to RGV Striker, making it seem like he missed his flush. But RGV Striker's not falling into the trap. CC Drew back in his seat. Was on tilt. Walked it off. Let's see if he did walk it off. We will figure that out right after we see this hand. So CC Drew just limping. He's got the king 3. The real Levas raising it up here to 20 with 9 high. CC Drew got to be in it to win it. He will make the call. And that's going to bring along Newbie and Jason as we go 4 ways to an $84 pot. 4 ways to a flop. And it's going to be a king for both CC Drew and Jason. A jack for Newbie. And the real Levas, who is your pre-flop aggressor, is the only player who misses the flop. King on the turn probably will be a chop pot between CC Drew and Jason. Newbie's going to bet 25. That's going to get a fold from Jason and leave CC Drew with the best hand. CC Drew going to wind up with the best hand. It'll go check, check. And CC Drew will win a small pot. Not very excited. He's still not excited. Let's see if he puts on the straddle. I think he's going to put on the straddle. There's the straddle.
$15
RGV striker not at his seat. His hand will get folded, and action will be on Newbie.
One folds. Two calls.
Newbie just making the call here with the Queen 10. T-Rich squeezing his cards, doesn't like them. Big also folding. The villain with the suited ace makes the call, and CC Drew with the Jack 6 bringing the pressure here. I don't think the villain's going to fold with the suited ace. Maybe if it's offsuit he's folding. Oh, Newbie makes the call here with Queen 10. The villain is closing off the action. He does have a suited ace. The only bad part is he's going to be out of position if he makes this call post flop.
7 calls.
He does make the call
3 players to a flop.
as we go 3 ways to a pot just under $200. It's going to be all hearts. CC Drew, the only player with a heart. Let's see if he puts out a small bet. Oh, is the villain thinking about putting out a bet here? He puts out a small $15 bet, which will get a quick raise from CC Drew. And I don't think the villain's going to be able to call here. The villain does have a pair. Has a pair of 7s. But we can see that CC Drew's actually favored as the cards lie. Can hit a jack, can hit a heart, where he can just win the hand with pure aggression. And that's exactly what's going to happen here.
7 folds.
As CC Drew winning another pot, a little bit bigger than the previous pot. Still at the bottom of the totem pole. Still down over $1,000. As RGV Striker is back in his seat. Let's see if he puts on a strudel or a straddle. He does not. He's got the dolly pardon working 9 to 5. We'll put that in the muck as it's folded around to Jason, who also mucks. The real Levis just will make the call with his suited king. And CC Drew checks as we go 4 ways to a flop. Three kings for the real Levis. Does check. And CC Drew might bluff here. There's the bluff. As everybody is drawn dead. Real Levis cannot lose this hand. CC Drew does slow down and check.
4 bets, 30. 9 calls.
And the real Levi's betting $40 does get a snap call from CC Drew's 4, which is no good. So the real Levi's dragging in a pot of just over $100. We are starting to catch our counterparts in Austin, but their stream is getting ready to end as it is the double stream from the Texas Card House tonight. The main channel, TCH Live Poker. The Austin location is streaming on that channel right now. And of course, we are streaming on the secondary channel, which is Texas Card House, 3 different words. Oh, Ray with the kings. Raising it up to 26. And he's picking up calls from the Livas brothers. Big coming along with his suited king. CC Drew with the ace here. And this pot is starting to build as Ray put in the 3-bet with the kings. So 3 ways to a flop we go of just under $300. The king's way out in front right now, although CC Drew is suited and connected and does have the overcard. Jack high flop. It will get checked to Ray, who bets the pot. $300 pot. And he will show the kings. So something that I have mentioned before, and we did see it in that case. Normally when a player puts out their biggest chip denomination, it is a sign of strength, and we can see that was the case as Ray put out his 3 black chips to bet the flop. Obviously, there is reverse tells involved, but in general, when a player is using their big chips to bet, it means they have a big hand. CC Drew with the button straddle.
Oh, yeah, they are. We have a $15 bonus straddle, guys. Actually starts in
The max is $15, and that's exactly what he straddles. Jason making the call with the king jack. And CC Drew will check his option. Both players with a king. Will we see a king on the flop? We do not. Jason does check. Nice. It goes check, check as CC Drew picks up a flush draw on the turn. And he'll probably be betting. No, it's Jason that actually bets the turn. That's a 3 of spades, not a 3 of clubs. So King Jack's going to win here. It goes check, check. And CC Drew's going to see that the Jack plays and will fold his hand. So 4 players in the green, 5 players in the red, not counting Ringo, who busted earlier from seat 4. CC Drew up at 65% on the VPIP. CC Drew trying to build the pots. Jason going to be calling with his suited king. And Ray going to be calling with his suited ace. So Ray in great shape here, has both his opponents dominated, has better clubs than Jason, and has a better 8 than CC Drew, as we see an ace-high flop. I wonder if they check it to CC Drew if he bets.
Good God.
8 bets, 45.
They are not going to check it to CC Drew. And Ray will bet his ace, show the ace, take down the pot.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Max 15 though, you can't do anything crazier than that. Oh, you want
So no straddle this hand. Action will be on T-Rich.
I'll remind you next time.
3 to play. $3.
The villain just limping.
8 balls.
CC Drew is not going to be limping. Has the pretty Jack 10 of diamonds. Gets a call from Newbie with the suited connectors. The real Livas with the pocket pair makes the call, and Ray folds his ace as we go 4 ways to an $84 pot. And it is going to be a flush draw for the villain. Middle pair for CC Drew, who does check. And CC Drew going to like the turn, as the chances of one of his opponents having a king is a lot less now. The villain going to come along with his flush draw. A queen also works, or a jack. And he's going to hit the jack for the straight. That's going to give CC Drew another pair. The villain going to bet. CC Drew knows that he's beat.
I'll take
Bro, there's a guy in Nick. There's a guy Nick in Corpus Christi. I told Jim Gordon, Nick, I will pay his yearly salary. Fire him right now. That's how bad he was.
At night?
Yes. That's how bad he was killing me. Like, bad.
They started doing more tournaments, no?
They've always had them. Wednesday's a big day for them.
3 to play. 3 to play.
No, I'll probably go play tomorrow. Take a drive to the big one. Are you driving that tomorrow?
Wait till Friday. Can't play on Friday?
There's the tournament I wanted to play. I'm trying to play tournaments again, so I'm gonna
6
play the tournament here.
So suited connectors for big under the gun raises it up to 15. CC Drew calling with the ace, as does Newbie. Newbie with the king jack. Jason has the power of the button, will make the call with 7 high. T-Rich getting a really good price, but has a really bad hand, so he lets it go. And we're going to be going 4 ways to the flop. Excuse me, 5 ways to the flop. King high flop. CC Drew going to be betting his second pair here, hoping nobody has a king. But Newbie does make the call with the king. Gut shot straight draw for big, but he's going to let it go. Needed a 10. As CC Drew now needs an ace or a 9, and there's the 9. It does go check, check. The ace comes on the river, which is going to fill up CC Drew, but I think the ace is going to scare off Newbie. Let's see if Newbie's able to get away from his hand. No, he is not. Newbie lost to the 9, lost to the ace. His opponent had each of those cards.
You made it one more day, Jerry. You made it another day. You're good with it.
So I can't go.
No, who's that? Who's that? Roach? And all the bets on the lineup.
sorry. So I'm not gonna get paid if I didn't pull up. Alright, 3 to play, 3 to play.
Good round. Good.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Go get your money back.
So we have a couple of tables out on the main floor, a couple of 1-3 tables, and we have a PLO table on the main floor. And I think CC Drew is going to go play that PLO table, as he is into this game for about 3,000 and feels like he has a better chance of making it up. Oh, RGV striker with the kings.
Are you leaving from here?
One of the next tables. Raised?
Yeah. You just give me your $50, partner, and go try to get your money back from over there. Not for me.
CC Drew with the suited ace. I don't think he's folding to the raise.
125.
He makes the call. And we will see if CC Drew's last hand he plays here is going to be a winner or a loser.
Heads up action. Heads up action.
Looking for a specific flop.
Oh, CC Drew's going to hit the ace.
9 checks, 1 check.
Does go check, check, though. RGV striker going to need a queen or a king. Big turn for CC Drew, but it does go check, check. And he might get paid here, yeah.
9 bets 200.
He bets 200. I think RGV striker, let's see if he pays him off. CC Drew did announce that this is his last hand, though.
1 calls.
And he does get paid off.
Wow.
So right when CC Drew says that he's going to leave, he goes on a little heater. And let's see if he stays.
Hold that suit for him over there, but he's going to say a word but here.
That's
What do you got, Rex?
about right.
This is Rio Grande Valley. I believe the Austin stream is getting ready to end. Oh. Let me check, because they started streaming at about, they started streaming at 6:20 and we're 10:08 right now. I don't know if, I think CC Drew's going to go to the PLO table, as he is into this game for about $3,000. And if you ever played PLO, you could make that up pretty quick at a PLO table. You can also lose that pretty quick at a PLO table.
4 players.
Actually, the Austin stream just ended. The Austin stream just ended. Ray with a flush draw and a straight draw now. Big with a pair and a straight draw. He's going to bet it. Yeah, and it looks like CC Drew is going to go out to the main floor and dabble with the 4 cards. So we do have a seat open on the stream table. We still have over an hour to go here on the stream table.
7 calls. 8 calls. 5 calls. Heads up action.
And there's the straight for big. I don't think he's going to get much from Ray. But let's see. I don't think he's going to get more than 50. He announces 75. Yeah. Yeah, I think 50 was the max there. So if you are just joining us,
See it open on the stream.
this is the Texas Card House location from the Rio Grande Valley. So Wednesdays, there's actually 2 streams. One stream is on the main channel, which is TCH Live Poker, and they just wrapped up. And we are streaming here on the secondary channel, which is Texas Card House. I know it sounds like I'm saying the same thing, but trust me, it's 2 different channels when you search.
One folds, two folds.
As I said, the main channel is called TCH Live Poker. This is the secondary channel, Texas Card House, 3 different words. We are streaming here from the Rio Grande Valley. We're about 4 hours and 20 minutes south of Austin.
Check, check. Wait till the turn. Check,
3 hours directly south of San Antonio. Oh, that's the nuts for the villain. 10-8 is nuts. But he was trapping and never bet it. So we are one of 6 Texas Card House locations located across the state of Texas. One of 4 streaming locations. There's 2 Texas Card Houses in North Texas. One in the city of Dallas. One right next door in the city of Irvin. That's TCH Social Las Colimas. Then you have 2 Texas Card House locations in East Texas. One in the city of Houston, and one just north of Houston in the city of Spring. You have one location in South Texas, that is us, down in the Rio Grande Valley, right next to the Rio Grande River. And then you have the original TCH Social in Austin. It's located in Central Texas. We do have a seat open in the stream table. Second player we lose of the night. I do know we have or had a list. There was probably about 4 or 5 people on the list waiting on a seat. And we still have an hour, over an hour to go in tonight's stream. 1-3 blinds, $1, $3 blinds. Texas Hold'em, no limit here in South Texas.
3 to play, $3 to play.
You can see 3 players, or 3 seats open. Excuse me, 1 seat open, 2 players not at their seats. As we do have Big making a return.
5 folds, 6 folds.
Those are his initials.
1 fold, 2 calls. Heads up action.
So kind of cool initials there.
2 bets 15.
Brandon Isaiah Garcia, initials are Big. I actually once knew somebody who had the initials of ATM. That's the opposite. Those are bad initials. Arturo Tomas Martinez. His initials are ATM, yeah. The BIG. Those are cool initials, at least in my opinion. The ATM, not so much so.
You gotta indulge when you can.
The Rio Livas with the suited ace should be at least calling, perhaps raising. Just makes the call.
6 folds, 7 calls, 8 calls, 1 fold,
Ray,
2 calls, 3 checks.
but it is with an E,
We have 5 players, so flop 5.
as in King, El Rey in Espanol.
2 checks, 3 checks.
Newbie hitting an 8, second pair, as we are 5 ways to a flop.
7, 8, 8, 8. They went check, check, check. Bet 15, Irving.
And the villain gonna bet and take it down. So Ray with an E, either short for Renaldo, Raimundo, RGV Striker back in his seat. We still have a seat available on the stream table.
Five folds, 6 folds, 7 folds, 8 folds, 1 folds, 2 raises it to 15.
Newbie raising it to 15 with the QJ.
3 players.
And he's picking up a call from 2 players. And let's see if Newbie puts out a continuation bet. He does not. Gut shot for the Real Livas. All 3 players pick up a flush draw, but the Real Livas is going to bet his straight draw here. Only has 5 high, hoping his opponents fold. 1 of them folding, 2 of them folding. So the Real Livas will take it down, and we will have a dealer change. So exactly 1 hour to go in tonight's stream. If you still haven't hit the like button, make sure you do take care of that. And while we change dealers, I will remind you about the return of the Trailblazer Series. I just talked about all the locations earlier, and the Trailblazer Series making a stop at all the locations. First stop will be in North Texas. 1 tournament stop, 2 locations. Texas Card House Dallas, TCH Social Las Colimas. That's going to be at the end of September. And then end of September, beginning of November. So that actually covers September and October in North Texas, 2 locations. And then we go to East Texas, the spring location in November. And then in December/January, the Trailblazer Series will make a stop down here in South Texas. The city of Edinburg is where the Texas Card House RGV is located. So the first hand back for the dealer, Ash Cash, is going to be a 6-way hand. And Big is going to flop a flush draw. And he's going to lead right out here. Gets a quick call from Ray, who has an open ender. And T-Rich calling with the 9s. He has the best hand. Does not have the best equity, though. And now it is a pair for Ray, who checks it. And T-Rich is going to hold on here with the 9s. He's going to bet 50 here. Big just left with king high here. Ray might call with his 6. Might call with the 6. The diamonds did miss. He is definitely thinking about it. I think he's going to call. So another little tell there. If you notice, he looked down at his chips. No, he's going to let it go. He wanted to call. So Ray has been running good tonight, and to his credit as well, he's been playing good. So you put those 2 together, and that puts him up 1,500 for the stream. Yeah, somebody in the chat wanted to see Ray call there. Once he looked down at his chips, I thought he was going to call. But he thought better of it, and he thought correctly.
Oh, yeah.
So no straddle this hand, as action's going to be on the villain. RGV Striker raising it up to 25. His brother keeping him in line. Wow, T-Rich just calls here with the suited ace. I thought he might raise it here. T-Rich with the best hand right now. And hits top pair. Let's see if he checks it. Yeah. Played it slow pre-flop, still playing it slow, hoping that one of his opponents hit a hand here. And now, the real Evas picks up a straight draw. RGV Striker picks up a straight draw. RGV Striker needed a deuce. He's going to pay. And the real Evas needing a 4. He will not pay. RGV Striker left with 1 out. That's not it. Running Diamonds arrived. And he's going to check. And T-Rich going to take the pot. And that's going to get T-Rich unstuck for the night. As T-Rich lost the big pot early on with ace-queen against the villain. He played the ace-queen fast that time. Plays the ace-queen slow now. And it works out in his favor. And he is in Profitville for the night. Yeah, make sure you do hit that like button. As I said, it's how I get paid. The more likes, the more money they pay me. So actually, they just let me know that surprisingly, we're not going to make it to the 4-hour mark, as we have less than 15 minutes to go on the stream. We're going to make it to hand number 81. So another 4 hands to go after this hand. I'm thinking, can't tell you for sure, but I'm thinking somebody loses a big hand, and that might break the game. You can see that seat 9 never got filled. So we are playing 8-handed right now, and I'm thinking somewhere between now and hand 81, we're going to have a big hand that's going to hurt at least one player. It might hurt 2 players. So Newbie with the bluff here, representing the queen. Doesn't think anybody has a queen. Oh, just as I said that, it looks like Jason's racking up. And Jason might be thinking about going out to play the PLO game. Yeah, looks like he made a beeline to the PLO game there. Both him and CC Drew were stuck the most. And PLO, he can win big pots really fast in that game. He can also lose big pots really fast in that game. Newbie going to get his bluff through. And it is going to be hand 81. Hand 81 is going to be our final hand. Go RGV Striker also. So I thought we would lose at least one player before the end. And we've already lost 2 players since I made that statement. So just like that, we're 6-handed, but we're going to get to hand 81. We're at hand 78 right now. So still 4 hands to go. And this is one of the reasons why, and I realize it's an unpopular opinion, this is one of the reasons why I don't mind playing 10-handed. Just because the chances of the game lasting longer are better. It's really frustrating whenever you're stuck and the game breaks. That's a decent flop for Ray. So Ray been running good tonight. Flops a straight. I think he's going to show it to the table just to let him know, hey, don't mess with me. Nobody at the table is surprised. Which might be another reason the game breaks early. Normally it makes it at least 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, they did, but then he canceled it out.
It went all back.
But these players see that Ray's running so good at the table, none of them might want to tangle with him. So action's going to be on the real Leave Us. So apparently the horizontal stripes make you look shorter and wider. The vertical stripes make you look taller and slender. Is that what they say? Real Leave Us with the horizontal stripes. Raises it up to 20. And he's going to raise and take. I think that's the first raise and take of the night. Maybe we had another one early on, but definitely haven't had a raise and take in a while. See that a lot in tournaments. Not so much so at the cash game, and very rare here at the Texas Card House. So 2 more hands to go. Will we see blood? T-Rich under the gun. Raises it up to 10. He has the ace-5. And the real Leave Us going to defend his big blind with the dog, the K9. And he's going to hit the K. T-Rich hitting the 5. Puts out the continuation bet. Check, check on the turn. The real Leave Us going to wind up with the best hand. He's going to try to get a little value out of it, but T-Rich is not going to let him have it. Not going to let him have the value that is. All right, last hand, hand number 81. That takes the real Leave Us to stack up to $666. We saw a $666 profit earlier from his brother. So there's a bit of a matrix moment there. All right, last hand of the night. Will there be blood? Seems like the players have kind of conceded to Ray here. They know Ray's running good. They know Ray has a big stack, and nobody wants to get out of line. As Big puts in the raise under the gun. Villain reaching for some chips. Going to be making the call. Newbie makes the call as well. And this last pot shaping up for some possible blood. Looks like nothing but letters on the flop, and it is queen, queen, jack. Newbie putting out a small bet here with his ace high, and everybody calling. Club on the turn. The real Levi's going to hit a flush. The villain going to hit a flush. And I thought we might see some blood, but it looks like everybody's going to check. Oh, big hit into full house. Is this where the blood gets spilt?
4 bets, 45.
Levi's betting his flush. Big putting in a small raise. I thought villain might be able to get away here, but he is reaching for chips. Oh, big's going to get max value from both of the flushes.
7 calls.
Levi's laughing. It's basically a min raise, another 55 to call. Oh, he's going to let it go. Nice fold from the real Levi's. And big will win the last hand of the night. Full house versus flush. Nice fold there from the real Levi's. It was an extra $55, but he knew that there was a good chance one of his opponents had the flush beat, and that was the case. All right, let's see the final tally of the night. We know Ray was the big winner, and you can see that he won $1,400. Big booking a $438 win. T-Rich winning about $100. The villain booking a small win, and Newbie in the negative. So that'll wrap things up on this Wednesday night. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the secondary channel for all Texas Card House locations.